G'day folks, welcome to an OCC Queensland Daily Weather App. Today, the 3rd of Jan 2023. My name's Chris Nitzo. This update brought to you by our major sponsor, Townsvillesheds.com. Check them out if you're in the market for a safe accredited shed. Right, we continue to see the monsoon cranking up here across the Western Cape. We've got a little bit of rotation enhanced down around the southeast Gulf. Nothing much in that, but it is enhancing the rainfall there in the southeast Gulf of Carpentaria. We have got, once again, some slow-moving lines of convection that are developing across the northern interior parts of the state and through northwest Queensland, and that's associated with the monsoon trough. We've also seen significant shower activity on the North Tropical Coast. That seems to be easing off this morning. Rainfall between 9 o'clock yesterday and 9 o'clock this morning. We can see, thanks to the Bureau of Meteorology, we can see that the northeastern parts of Queensland has seen the best falls. Out to the areas just west of Innisfail here, falls in the 100 to 130 range in most of that, or in substantial part of that coastline. Also, just out the back of Tully, we've seen some good falls. And notice Mareeba here, 118 millimetres. Unusual for Mareeba to be up there with the top areas of the state. Yesterday, the day before, Atherton got up to about 150 millimetres. So Atherton and Mareeba sharing some spoils there on the Atherton tablelands. Mossman also 173 millimetres there. That's a fantastic drop of rain for them. Most of that fell in a couple of hours. Further north, further west, we've seen significant rainfalls through the Gulf Country, northern parts of northwest Queensland, through the northern interior and through large areas of Cape York Peninsula. Rightio, today we see lots of rain over the Cape, over the Gulf, over the northwestern parts of the state. We're going to see showers and storms increasing through the northern interior this afternoon, just like they have done the last few days. No surprises there. Monsoon still cranking up through this region. No changes in the next couple of days for far north Queensland. What we will see is some isolated convection developing across southern Queensland, becoming quite scattered through southern Queensland. Most of it quite weak there, but there is increasing convection expected across southern and central inland Queensland, maybe even an isolated shower or even a very weak storm there around the Darling Downs region. But overall, the best stuff up there in the north again over the next 24 hours. You can see this mostly isolated, non-severe convective activity across southern and central interior parts. As I mentioned, we're not too interested in that from any sort of intensity perspective, but you've always got to watch these inland storms. Sometimes they can produce some strong winds when we least expect it. Further northwards, of course, we see very significant rainfall around the Gulf Country, the western parts of the Cape, parts of northern inland Queensland, where we see the really slow movement of any convective activity. Also seeing some good accumulation of rainfall. Notice very dry across much of eastern Queensland, just on the coastline. On the hinterland areas, though, there might be some isolated shower activity as well this arvo. We've got some nice wind conditions across the coastal waters of Queensland today. Nice light easterlies. Just be aware the northeasterly sea breeze will come in. And, of course, if you're on the Western Cape coastline, you've got northwesterlies to contend with at 10 to 15 knots, 15 to 20 at times, gusting up to 20 to 30, maybe even 35s with the big squally showers that sometimes come through with that monsoon flow. So just be aware these are sustained winds. Gusts will be higher, especially with any convective activity on the monsoon trough, on the monsoon flow. On Thursday, we're going to see a big southerly pushing up through the inland parts of the state and through southern and central parts of Queensland. And on Thursday, that's going to impart some rotation along the monsoon trough, and that's going to create a weak surface low in the inland parts of northern Queensland. Now, as we progress into Friday, that low will push off the North Queensland coastline and will continue moving east-southeast away from the state. As that low approaches the northeast Queensland coastline, we'll see winds increasing, and we may see an increase in shower and rain activity across that northeast coastal area. As the low pushes offshore, that shower activity will decrease. However, we may see a temporary increase in shower activity a little further south in the Mackay with Sundays down to around the Yeppoon area as well as that low gets offshore. That low will intensify as it pushes eastwards, but by the time it develops into anything that resembles a tropical cyclone, even if it does, and there's still no evidence there that's solid enough to suggest it will be a long way offshore, as in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kilometres offshore before it even looks like becoming a tropical cyclone, if it does at all. No evidence that system will be coming back to the coast. If you want to know more about anything we spoke about today, or you want to look further ahead, pop over to join.ozcyclonechasers.com.au. Check out our subscription options, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll talk again tomorrow.